Mike?
So I have been a nerd for a very long time. School makes it very clear who is and who isn't. Good at math and bad at sports, boom, nerd. So when I went to college, I needed a cheap place to live, and so I applied to the co-op system at UC Berkeley. And they had 18 houses, woo! They had 18 houses, a bunch of different themes. There was the party house, there was the vegetarian house, there was the quiet house. I ranked the quiet house first because, good for nerds, good for studying. Not what I got. I got my last choice, a place called Barrington Hall, which is infamous for being famous for LSD dinners, heroin overdoses, and allegedly harboring Patty Hearst's kidnappers. I don't know what the theme of the place was, maybe anarchy. But I walked up there before sophomore year, summoned as much Walnut Creek swagger as I could by playing my favorite album, my Walkman, Billy Joel's Greatest Hits Volume 1 and 2. Epic. And I walk in, and the guy at the front desk, sort of like a punk goth guy, a lot of black, makeup, his name is Gerg. Gerg. I'm in the building for 30 seconds, and I'm out of my depth. And I say I'm there to check in, and he looks at me, and he said, I have a cool room for you. And he grabs a key, and he leads me through these dirty hallways, every inch covered in murals that I do not understand. And he leaves me with the key at a door, and I open it up, and the room is black. It is 6 feet across, like the length of a coffin, and the walls are painted black, the floor is painted black, the ceiling is painted black, every inch of it black, except on one wall, in blood red, were the lyrics to the Rolling Stones painted black. A song about the grief and despair you feel when someone you love dies. Welcome back to school, Mike. So I live in that room for a week until I'm kicked out because it is a very popular room and I don't have seniority. And I'm assigned to another suite. There's like 3 rooms that share a bedroom, and share a bathroom, and that's a suite. And I grab my stuff, and I go knock on the door, and some very scraggly guy opens the door, and his name is Lars, and he has a nose ring, and I've never spoken to anyone with a nose ring before. And I'm fixated. I'm staring at the nose ring as I introduce myself to Lars, saying that I'm checking in. And he looks me up and down and says, well, I hope you're not allergic to nudity. And slouches back into his room. Thankfully, I am not allergic to nudity, which is great because Lars was nude a lot. But he was a nice guy. And I met our other suite mate, Aquarius, who was tiny and brilliant and scary and beautiful and soon to be a stripper and liked to use sex as a weapon. And I was never been more scared of anyone in my life. And several times that semester, we were woken up by some woman banging on the door really loud of our suite, going, Aquarius, are you sleeping with my boyfriend? Get out of there. And I never knew if Aquarius was trying to get back at the woman or the woman's boyfriend, but I gave her a huge berth that whole semester. And at the end of the semester, I had a chance to move out. But I was kind of feeling my oats a little. I thought maybe I could make it a whole year. And my work shift the first semester was, doing dishes in the kitchen. But I'm like, all right, for the next semester, I want to level up. You could be the Barrington mailman, which was a pretty cushy job, but you had to be elected to it. So I campaigned. On election night, I sang a song and played the harmonica, and I got elected, which felt so cool. The Barringtonians had accepted the little nerd as one of their own. And I met a bunch of people that semester. I met the dude who loved to party by putting ferrets down his pants, and the woman who liked to sunbathe nude on the roof, just spread eagle, which was a lot, and Gerg. And I chatted with Gerg, and I said, Gerg, tell me, that first day when I checked in, and you gave me that black room, you were screwing with me, right? And I looked at him, and his eyes no longer looked scary. They looked kind now. He's like, no, man, I thought it was a really cool room. When I walked out of that building at the end of the year, I was listening to Led Zeppelin on my Walkman. And a couple years later, when my daughter was getting ready to go to college, and she applied to a college in New York and was going, I posted on Facebook, and I told people that my daughter was going to college in New York, and Aquarius DM'd me. And she said, Mike, I live in New York. This is my phone number. Give it to your daughter. If anything ever happens to her, she's in trouble, I will help her. I know the mayor, and he is scared at me. I will get her out of whatever trouble it is, no questions asked. And I didn't understand why I'd been given this gift, because, I don't know, because I've made it 50 years somehow, and I'm still putting everybody in these boxes. She's cool, and I'm a nerd. And I wanted to end the story by going, but I don't do that anymore. I don't put people in boxes, but I still do. It's gotten me this far. Heck, it got my daughter a get-out-of-jail-free card. So I am still a nerd, but I am a nerd who likes Led Zeppelin now.
A round of applause for Mike.